The starting point guard had 11 assists and 10 turnovers. It's a huge difference here tonight. Rodriguez penetrates and knocked out of bounds by Elijah Johnson, who will open the second half. So Bill Self goes back to his senior dominated lineup. Johnson as the quarterback, and Rodney Magruder, and just like you pointed out, friend, he struggles against the Jazz. Let's check in on Coach Weber, what he had to say with Holly Rowe.
Well, I asked him, how do you get Rodney Magruder going? And he said he's got to get other people going. He needs to start setting screens to get other guys open. If he doesn't, Kansas will lock down on him defensively. He said he can also do other little things to help his team, even if he's not scoring.
So here's Rodriguez out on top. Elijah finally picked off by Enriquez. Young switches. Rodriguez goes in on the drive, and Young rebounds the miss.
Brent, you notice McLemore was on Magruder. Third guy tonight to guard him.
Relaford. Withy tries to clean up. McLemore. Relaford still underneath. No whistle. Spradling puts it on the floor. Headman now Rodriguez. And the trailer is Southwell into the paint. That's where the Wildcats have been really lacking, is firepower in the paint. Relaford comes in and one on the free throw line.
Transition, something that's been missing the last 3 games. Rebound by McLemore, the kick out, and then watch the spin move right here by Travis Relaford getting to the rim.
Spradling picks up number 3. Quick start here to the second half for the Jayhawks, who have dominated this game from the start. Catch and shoot. Magruder, air ball.
McLemore was fortunate. He fell asleep and Magruder got open.
Now Withy backs in on Henriquez, comes through the paint, and it'll roll in with that soft touch. Left-handed coming through the paint. Rodriguez spots 3, knocks it down.
A nice job by Spradling. Anytime you can get a piece of the paint off the dribble, you're going to contract that defense.
And Young loses the handle, gets it back, scored, goaltending. Well, we go back 10 days ago, February 1st, the Jayhawks rolling at 7-0 in the conference. 3 straight losses, and the Wildcats moved to first. But here tonight, if you watch just this game, you'd see, you got to be kidding me. Rodriguez, another 3, knocks it down. One way to get back in when you're down by 20 or so, Frank.
Yep.
But at the other end, Young, he's having a big night. Magruder with the J.
Good job by Magruder, because McLemore went over the top of the screen. When he caught the ball, Magruder went away from McLemore.
Enriquez with his hands full down low. Switches out on McLemore. McLemore kicks back Elijah. Withy tried to keep it in play. Rodriguez, headman. Here comes Magruder again. He flushes on Relaford.
That's something they didn't get much in the first half, those runouts. Couple threes, a run out.
Trying to battle their way back in this. They'll have to do it with their defense, because they're going to need stops. Over the top, Enriquez knocks it away, and a foul is going to be called. It's going to go over to the Wildcats.
Take a look, Brent. Now watch McLemore go over the top, so Magruder goes away from him. Good read by Magruder. And then the run out, and Rodney Magruder trying to get it going.
The Withy picks up the personal foul. Rodriguez will bring it down now. basket here, and there'll be just a little unease over there on Self's bench if they can knock down another one. And
I think that's
offensive.
Gibson. Yeah, I think it's Gibson.
And that's 4 on Gibson.
And Gibson's just made a cameo tonight. I thought Weber might keep him out there, but they're going to get him out quickly. He hadn't broken a sweat tonight, Thomas Gibson.
And they picked up back-to-back fouls quickly, his first 2. Number 3, and now he's got 4, so he'll take a seat.
Rodriguez, a pesky defender.
All over Johnson, makes him pick it up. Spradling out on Rutherford. McLemore with that curl kick back outside, saved by Johnson. Could have been a turnover. Here comes Elijah, not this time. Knocked away and out of bounds. It'll be Kansas State basketball.
Well, McLemore's got to shoot that ball when he comes off that curl screen. Way too deferential. I think McLemore, Brent, for Kansas to reach their potential, he must be the go-to guy for this team offensively. And he's got to take more shots.
Now let's see what the Wildcats can do here offensively. Withy gives Enriquez a lot of room outside. It'll be Magruder off the dribble, and he is fouled. He's coming up to the free throw line. So we'll take the break. When you come back, Magruder will be on the line for the Wildcats.
Is anything crazy happening to the game?
And of course, Kentucky needs to keep winning to get back in. I don't want to overlook that story.
A big game for Kentucky. Yeah, because they don't have a lot of power games left to move up.
Rutherford picked up his 3rd foul. That's why you see him taking a seat over there. And here comes Magruder, recruited by Frank Martin, Rodney Magruder. He's a senior out of Washington, D.C.
Take a look at this, Brent. Travis Rutherford's done a good job all night of chasing Magruder. This time he goes under the screen, but he gets caught up right here. So when Magruder does catch it, he's got the running start to the rim, and there's the 3rd foul.
Knocks that free throw down. 2 of 4 at the line with 8 points. Rutherford take a seat for a while. And look who's checked back in. Tharp handling the ball right now. 6 assists and no turnovers in the first half. So he and Johnson both operating in the backcourt. Young stays on the floor with Withy and McLemore. That's your Kansas lineup right now. McLemore puts it on the deck. Pull up over Spradling. And he got the shooter's bounce.
He got the bounce. More importantly, he must maintain his aggressiveness. He's only taken 7 shots tonight.
And 19 points. And there comes a foul on Kansas. That's number 2 on Young, and that's the 3rd team foul here. There are 2 team fouls on the Wildcats right now, so getting to that line when you're trailing. They're still down 18, trying to whittle away at this.
Tharp is on Magruder again. McLemore couldn't handle him.
Knocked away, but Southwell cleans it up and puts it back in Rodriguez's hands. Johnson checks for the high screen. Comes with him. Southwell ball fake. Puts it on the deck, spins to the other side where a left hand would have come in handy.
That's right. That's a great point, Brent. Good job by Southwell to get all the way deep, but didn't have a finishing move. Now Tharp is not even worried about team defense, Brent. All he's worried about is shadowing Magruder. So Kansas is basically playing 4-on-4.
Inbounds, Withy jumped out and got another block, and Johnson gives it back on a turnover. Southwell to the paint. Henriquez, and I believe a foul is going to be called against the Jayhawks. I thought he lost the grip, but a foul is going to be called, I believe. Maybe this is going to be a Wildcat ball. Let me see if he just lost a handle here.
Southwell's got to know who he's passing to here. He had Rodriguez set up in the corner. Henriquez does not have great hands.
Inbounds, Henriquez flushes. Now it's down to 16. Remember, I believe it was 21 at one point. So a different Jayhawk team now with Tharp the quarterback. looking inside to the freshman Ellis, and he gives it up. Turns it over, and Self's going to be a little bit unhappy with the performance for the last couple minutes. Rodriguez off the dribble, spins inside. He'll be on the free throw line. He was fouled by Perry Ellis.
Angel Rodriguez is a catalyst. Boy, is he so much better than he was as a freshman. More under control. Knows how to get himself fouled.
You know, what's interesting about Rodriguez, when Frank Martin, who had recruited him from Miami, left for South Carolina, Rodriguez felt that he was going to transfer, and it was up to Bruce Weber. He had to recruit him all over again.
Oh, and he's done a good job.
And Holly, it's interesting that he went back to one of his veterans, Darren Williams. Tell us about that conversation.
Well, that's right. Bruce Weber asked Darren Williams, who was a guard for him at Illinois, to call Angel. Angel told me today, Darren called me and he said, look, I don't want to tell you what to do, but give him a chance. Get to know Coach Weber. I was in this exact same situation. Bill Self recruited me to Illinois, and then he left. I was freaking out, thinking maybe I better transfer, but I got to know Coach Weber, and I love the guy. It worked out. Angel said, I took that advice, took my time, got to know him, and he was right.
Absolutely. He's enjoying his time here. Coach Weber, he's improved as a point guard, too, we should point out.
Oh, his decision-making is so much better.
Ellis kicks it back on the outside. Now here's Tharp. And they get into Young. That's going to be offense.
No surprise there. Will Spradling loves to give up his body.
That, you know, Bruce Weber, and I think he got it from Gene Cady. He keeps a special chart on hustle points, those little things.
Yep.
And I think you get 2 points if you take a charge.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. All coaches have their own systems. Deflections, offensive rebounds, taking charges, diving on the floor.
Trailer back on the floor for Bill Self here. Rodriguez brings it up. Relaford is back. Southwell up over the top. Magruder's in there, and Withy with another good defensive play. Stolen. Bad pass by McLemore, and then he gives it right back with a good defensive play. McLemore got it back.
I'm not sure Rodriguez knew who he was trying to throw over.
Withy spins. Trailer cleans up. Battle, Relaford. And ball out of bounds. It'll be Jayhawk ball. Enriquez, you were talking about, he'll have trouble with his hands.
Yep. That's a good play right here by Withy. Tharp was posted up. Magruder thought he had an easy one.
Tharp Withy's out high on the screen. Drop it low now to Trailer, who muscle hits Withy, flushes. Huge advantage in the paint here tonight for the Jayhawks.
Oh, that's vintage Kansas. Watch the pass to the corner of the board. That sets up the dump off to Withy. Well done. Entry pass to Trailer. The freshman with a great delivery.
Williams checks in for Coach Weber. Withy, one of the leaders today, brought individual players together and then groups of 3 and 4. And that was what was somewhat unusual about the 3-game losing streak. This is a senior-dominated team, and it was obvious today watching Withy that he was rallying the troops. And Enriquez currently has a bloody nose situation over there that I believe happened underneath the hoop here when Withy stuffed it, got him with the left elbow inadvertently.
You know what people don't realize about playing at places like Duke, North Carolina, Indiana, and Kansas? The pressure these kids are under when things don't go their way. Everybody in the state knows about it. I had the people at Starbucks asking me today what was wrong with the Jayhawks.
Bradley pops out. McLemore on him hard. Here's Rodriguez. Can't get away from Rutherford. Magruder going to try to split the D. Now spin. Withey comes over defensively along with Tharp, and they stuff him.
Withey's like Tharp's big brother out there. Magruder was trying to bully him, but Withey shut the lane off.
McLemore open three. And a putback by Rutherford. No one blocked 24 off the glass. It's a Jayhawk kind of night. A 20-point advantage here at the Allen Fieldhouse, and Fran indeed has been a block party.
Well, Jeff Withey's been doing it all year long, and it's such what a great opportunity to have when you have a guy that protects the rim. Magruder tried to bully Tharp inside, but I love this, Brent. You know, every now and then you send a message block where you knock it out of bounds, but when you keep the ball in play to your teammates, that's a high IQ basketball play.
Plays it like the good volleyball player that he once was.
Well, and it was a guy named Russell that used to keep him in play, right?
Everything in play.
Yep,
Red Auerbach said that was the best part of his game defensively, is that ball stayed in play. John Havlicek and all those great Celtics. Sam Jones, KC Jones, Tommy Heinsohn got the ball on the move after Big Russ came away with a block. One of the greatest defenders we ever saw. All right, here we are. Rodriguez now bringing it down on Rutherford.
Tharp is still guarding Magruder, so they're using quickness versus size.
Magruder and one.
That time size one on that play.
So we will take a break, but it has been a Jayhawk kind of night. All right, Reese, and here Kansas continues to outscore Kansas State in the paint 32-10 right now. And Magruder coming up to the free throw line. So he completes the three with that piece of business.
Little zone pressure right here. Three-quarter court, 2-2-1. Kansas not ready for it.
And Rodriguez almost stole it. Tharp was able to get a body there. Now quickly he brings it up, splits the D, gets inside, and with it to finish. But it was Tharp who got in first all the way. And a pass and a nice play by Magruder who worked the back door on him.
Yeah, Rodriguez saw that the whole way. Magruder pointed.
Here's the point guard of the future and maybe even the present. Giving it up. McLemore knocks down a three.
I love this guy. Really good chance he'll be the #1 pick. If not, he'll be in the top 3. That's a lot. He's special.
He's having one of those nights here. Away from the ball. Is that Rutherford? And that's 4 on Rutherford. Let's take a look now at Ben McLemore on his birthday.
Watch how effortlessly he plays. That was early. Look at this jump shot. It is so smooth, so compact. Not a lot of things that can go wrong. Great follow through. Efficiency and athleticism and size for the next level when you talk about this young man.
Magruder's mom and dad are here tonight. And Magruder, his father right there on the left, was a very good friend of Lynn Bias. And when young Magruder was growing up, of course, father would show him some highlights of the late great star who played for Lefty Driesell at Maryland. Was going to play for the Celtics and tragically passed away. But there is Pops from the Washington area, and their son's a fine player.
Well, and he's a fine young man too, Brent. Doesn't say a whole lot. Very quiet. Coaching staff, the new coaching staff here loves him.
So Tharp and Johnson operating together here, Fran, at the 10-minute mark. 18-point advantage for the Jayhawks. Knocked away by Rodriguez. Wildcats sort of lost control early and have been able to get right back in the thick of it. Hasn't been for lack of effort. They've been trying, but the Jayhawks not giving ground here tonight, and Magruder will take a break.
When there's a guy in the middle of that defense that changes the game for opponents.
You know, everything worked well when you think about it. You know, Tharp came in, took over the point. Withy defended in well. McLemore shot well. Now it's Tharp's turn. Not this time, but the long rebound, McLemore, and Tharp will reset the table here.
And if you're Tharp right now, use a little time unless he's open.
About halfway down, Withy underneath will be on the free throw line.
You know, Jeff Withy committed to Louisville and Rick Pitino. His grandfather passed away, so he stayed close to home. Went to Arizona. Lute Olson left, and he was a man without a country. He called Bill Self on a Christmas Eve morning, said, I want to come to Kansas. And it was rocky, Brent. It really was.
No question.
Took a year and a half for him to figure things out.
I used to watch him in practice, and I wondered if he was ever going to be a player for the Jayhawks. It's a tribute to Bill Self and that entire coaching staff. I know you're very close to Joe Dooley, who is one of Bill Self's assistants over there, and a very hard-working coach. You worked with him several years, didn't you?
Great. They got a great coaching staff. Joe worked for me. Remember, Danny Manning worked with Jeff Withy as well. But Joe, Norm Roberts over there, Kurt Townsend, all those guys are veterans.
Absolutely. It shows here tonight. You know, the youngsters, they've turned in one of those games that you would expect from Kansas after that 3-game losing streak. Now he turned it over. Here comes McLemore. Johnson's his lead blocker, and he was fouled. That was Nino Williams who fouled him, and he'll be on the free throw line shooting a pair.
Now, this young man was second banana. There's the coaching staff. Joe Dooley. Jumpin' Joe played at George Washington. Doc Sadler to the left, the director of operations. Bill Self has always had great staffs. You think of Danny Manning at Tulsa, Tim Jankovich now down at SMU with Larry Brown.
And there's Norm Roberts and Coach Townsend. Townsend's been with Bill Self a long time. Norm, of course, once was the head coach at St. John's.
Well, we have a lot in common, he and I.
Yes.
We both got fired.
Listen, you ain't trying if you don't get fired. At least once in this profession, let me tell you.
My lips are sealed.
Knocks it down to make it 72-50 now. And a 24-point night here, Fran, for McLemore. He'll make the first team all Big 12, no doubt about that. Candidate for Player of the Year in the conference. Rodriguez saves it from going out of bounds.
Look at Withy. He's out there challenging.
And traveling. Enriquez travels. Traylor tied him up, forced that turnover. That's 13 turnovers tonight for the Wildcats.
You know, we talked about a crisis of confidence for Kansas. You know, if this score holds, Kansas State's going to make that 80-mile drive back, lamenting the missed opportunity they've had tonight.
No question. Traylor. Tap back away. Johnson going for it, and he is fouled, and that was Martavius Irving who fouled him. Well, it was like Coach said, Coach Weber. They let the home game get away from him. I mean, he knew how tough it was going to be in here tonight, especially when you catch these guys on a 3-game losing streak. That's not when you want to be playing the Jayhawks in the Allen Fieldhouse.
No, that's exactly right. And they do have Baylor and West Virginia home the next 2 games. We'll be in Manhattan next Monday night. Bob Huggins' team's starting to play better.
Bob Huggins makes his return.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I wonder if that student body even remembers that he was a coach there. That's a few years ago.
That's a few years ago.
And you're exactly right. The Mountaineers are pulling back together. You know, he told his team when we were there in Morgantown, don't give up the dream of getting back to the NCAAs. We got a chance. McLemore off the screen, knocks it down. Then we got a 27-point night already. 27, looking for 30 now.
The birthday boy.
What a birthday. 20 years old today, and he's lighting it up. Scored the 3 from Magruder.
Now Tharp shook his head because Magruder got loose.
Made a tough shot.
He sure did. He's made a lot of them in his career.
Well, now the focus is on McLemore. Folks, is he going to get 30 on his 20th birthday? Traylor will screen for him. He goes over to Withy. And they turned it over. Head man's Rodriguez. Johnson's there. Rodriguez glides in for the layup. Tough hombre. Went to the floor and made the field goal.
How about a guy 5'10", 5'11", able to get that ball scooped right underneath the rim?
Young is going to be checking back in. So it has been McLemore here tonight. He has hit 5 3 balls in this game tonight. And a reminder that Wednesday night Hoops has a doubleheader. And here's McLemore knocking down one of his 5.
Picture perfect stroke. We've seen it early in the year. Had 33 in a game against Iowa State. I think Danny Manning has the record for freshmen. I think it's 35. Brent, he's got 27. How about that? 11 shots. That's the amazing thing.
That's efficiency right there.
That's efficiency. Yep.
Well, doubleheader now coming up. And it's 7 Eastern. We've got Syracuse at UConn. That'll be in Hartford. And then that will be the lead-in for North Carolina and Duke. That game will be in Cameron on Wednesday night, so that'll be kind of interesting. At Syracuse and Connecticut, that be the last regularly scheduled game as Big East members. Am I right about that?
Syracuse is
so
off.
they can play in the tournament,
right?
But I think the last regularly scheduled Big East game.
It's so sad to see those matchups like Syracuse, Georgetown.
I agree.
Syracuse, Connecticut break up.
And in this conference, it was sad for me to see Kansas and Missouri go away. It was one I always look forward to in football as well as in basketball. And same goes for Texas A&M and Texas too when they split. So here comes Withy down low. Misfiring. And speaking of football, that's what Gibson reminds me of when I see him. And again coming through, but not this time, Rodriguez. But he goes to the deck again. He's going to have some floor burns. Here comes Johnson gliding in. Misfires, taken down by Magruder. And getting it back is Tharp. Kick now, open 3 for the 30. No. And the crowd knows what he's sitting on right now. They know he's sitting on 27. Foul's going to be called. So 75-55, a 20-point advantage for the Jayhawks here tonight. Tell us what you really thought, Bill. 13 points in the first half. You know what? He's probably right. That probably was the worst half they've played since Naismith was around.
And Naismith, I have to remind you, was the only losing coach in the history of Kansas basketball. So
let's take a look now, Fran, at the Buick game track. A little bit different than how they played down at TCU.
Well, you mentioned points in the paint. They've done it different ways. Withy, the guards inside, the block shots. It's been a very terrific all-around performance for Kansas on both ends of the floor. Kansas State's still battling, Brent.
No, they've been battling away here all night. They just can't gain any traction.
Yep.
Because the Jayhawks have played that well. With 7 minutes to go, the Jayhawks have got 75 up there, and their leading scorer has put up 27. And for the time being, McLemore is going to watch. He is over on the Kansas bench right now at the 6:49 mark. Tharp and Johnson. Traylor is out there with Young and Rio Adams getting a couple of minutes. Handling the ball right now. Adams drives, penetrates, kicks back. He's still a little bit lost.
He's trying to find his way, earn minutes.
Tharp. And coming down now. Spradling spots 3. And it will be Jayhawk basketball.
And you can see how effective Southwell is. Grabs the rebound, able to handle it at that power forward spot.
McLemore and Withy are up, but they will be checking back in.
Right now, Bill Self's milking clock. This is a random pick and roll offense. They'll look for something inside eventually.
Traylor is stripped and fouled. He'll be coming up to the line. And McLemore and Withy will check in at the next opportunity here. McLemore was eager. He was going to check in before the first one. He was ready to go. Come on, Withy, let's go. Come on, sit down, young. Take a seat here. We got to wait. Traylor looking for his first point here tonight. So, you know, Fran, as you look at the top 10, what's remarkable, look at 17 first place votes for Miami. Duke 20, Indiana had 26, 2 for Gonzaga, but sort of interesting.
Well, keep in mind, Miami lost early games to Florida, Gulf Coast, Arizona, I believe Indiana State. No Durant Scott in the first loss, and then Reggie Johnson got hurt. You saw the complete team over the weekend.
Oh, they really looked awesome.
Yeah.
Against Carolina.
Well, they hammered, as you mentioned, Carolina twice.
So the Wildcats trying to regroup here. Rodriguez out on top. Tharp's got him. Shot clock winds down toward 10. Rodriguez has got to get him into something here. He said, well, I'll just take the shot. It rattles out. But Gibson with an offensive rebound. And now Southwell, he'll miss the 3. Young rebounds for the Jayhawks, and here's Tharp.
I think the fans wanted Elijah Johnson to take that shot because he has not been on the last 8 games. They sense him needing to get going.
The one they want more than anybody else, though, is McLemore. They want that 30. Oh, a little too fancy. Self's got a coaching point for him.
He'll get something to get mad at. Yep.
Absolutely. Rodriguez 3. No. Battle in underneath. Jayhawks come up with it again down. Approaching the 4.5-minute mark. 20-point lead.
Well, Kansas can put it in the meat grinder now. Unless they get a run out, they're going to use clock and run this offense.
McLemore, a beautiful pass to Young. Couldn't finish into Magruder's hands. Wildcats came in here with a 4-game winning streak. Last time they lost to Kansas, I believe they went up to Ames and lost their next game. And this will roll in for Magruder. Lost their next game to Iowa State.
Well, they'll go home this weekend and take on Baylor on Saturday, West Virginia Monday. They'll be favored in 5 of their next 6 games, I believe, Kansas State.
McLemore feeds Traylor and then gets it back. Magruder's on him. Kick now to Tharp, the 3. Tapped by McLemore and out of bounds. Wildcat basketball. We'll take a break. 3.5 minutes to go. Jayhawks rolling.
Smile on his face every time he played here.
Absolutely.
He'll probably remind me of that the next time I see him. I told him he only made 1 big shot.
But it was big.
It was big.
Pushed Memphis into overtime. And then Jayhawks won their last national championship. That was in 2008. Spradling will step up to the free throw line here at the 3:20 mark. One more reminder that tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, Kentucky will take on Florida, SEC. Then up to East Lansing, you'll go for a Big Ten matchup. Michigan Wolverines will be taking on Michigan State. Those games are tomorrow night.
Boy, how tough a couple weeks has Michigan had with all those road games.
And they got another one. That won't be easy up in East Lansing. These will be ready for the Wolverines. Always a good battle. So the Jayhawks winded down some time here. About to snap that 3-game losing streak. But the big development here with the Jayhawks, there's no question about it. Now there's Tharp, the 5'11" sophomore, taking over as the point guard. And they're going to be seeing a lot of him. Relaford, and it's blocked. It was Irving who got out on it, a shot clock violation. So there is the young man who put on an impressive show here tonight.
Well, when you make a second defender beat you, when you're that quick, it forces the defense to really play in what we call rotations, and he got his teammates easy opportunities to score tonight. We're going to have fun at Kansas City, Brent. The Big 12 tournament's going to be phenomenal.
Southwell misses. Young, who's been very active on the glass, tracks it down. Here's McLemore sitting on a 27-point night. Magruder determined not to give him one, and down away from the ball on the inside. Is that number 5 on Mr. Gibson?
Thomas Gibson, as soon as the whistle blew, he just started that slow walk. Take a look, watch, bang in. I'm not sure, you know. Gibson just, as soon as the whistle blew, Brent, he just started walking. He didn't even wait for the official to make the call. He just started walking.
He knew. Southwell now going to be replaced. Diaz checks in.
Well, you and I saw Marcus Smart early in the year down at Baylor. Terrific young player. Oklahoma State on a roll. Freddie Hoiberg's team's playing well. Kansas State's not going anywhere.
And Cabango will be back for the Longhorns. He will play in that game Saturday night on
Yes, he will.
game day.
He'll play
here in.
Yep. He'll play Wednesday.
Don't know if he's game ready, but
well, we'll find out on Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah. Iowa State goes to Austin. But he gives him a lift for sure.
And a tough break for Oklahoma tonight, even though they won. Frank.
Yeah, losing Buddy Hield, it looks like, for at least 4 weeks. Terrific freshman.
Spradling off iron into McLemore's hands, and the Jayhawks will come down 153 now.
Now, let me finish that up. Buddy Hield, they think he broke a 5th metatarsal on that right foot tonight. Freshman, actually played his high school basketball in Wichita.
Whistle coming down to the last minute and a half. You know what's going to impress me about Ben McLemore? If he doesn't pull the trigger one more time tonight and sits there on the 27, doesn't force anything, just runs it out on the clock. He's had a great night. Johnson's coming up to the free throw line. I always like to watch youngsters in situations like this.
Yes, yeah. See how they react. Well, you know what? He has been a great teammate. If anything, Bill Self said he's been too deferential to the veterans. But I think for Kansas to be at their best, particularly offensively, he has got to be the alpha dog. He's got to be the guy that takes the 15, 18 shots. You know, during the losing streak, he averaged 18 points a game, and he took a bunch of shots, and they were good shots.
Elijah Johnson knocks down the free throws. 1.5 here. Got a 20-point advantage, coasting to this win. And the haunting chant begins. So that was a 2-point basket. His first of the night. McLemore out on top, looking to kill some time now. He's got Diaz out on him.
1 minute remaining.
Winding it down toward 10. Now, Bill wants him to go. Pulls it up, and there it is. 30 points for McLemore.
Too bad it's a Monday, because I don't think he's going to be able to celebrate that birthday, and he's got to be in class tomorrow.
Well, he's only 20 today, so I won't invite him out with you and me afterward. But happy birthday. Wonderful night. He's a fine player. Bill Self signaled him to go ahead and take the shot over there on the sideline. McLemore was winding time down. He's had a 33-point game, now a 30-point game, and on his birthday.
Good way to spend it.
So we're going to wind down the final 30 seconds. The Wildcats will go regroup back in Manhattan. We will see them next Monday night against West Virginia. And that figures to be a good game. That student body always gets the Wildcats fired up in Manhattan. They'll shake this one off. So another 20-win season coming up for the Kansas Jayhawks. That'll do it. 83-62. The losing streak is over. And with an exclamation point. .30 night for McLemore. 83-62. Jayhawks wrap it up, snapping the Wildcats' 4-game win streak. Coming up next, SportsCenter. Let's go to Steve Levy and Stuart Scott.